The ship that vanished. The haunting mystery of SS Waratah, the Titanic of the South that disappeared without a trace. Imagine boarding a luxury ocean liner in 1909, a floating palace, gleaming brass, velvet-lined halls, crystal chandeliers swaying gently with the pulse of the Atlantic. The air hums with wealth, confidence, progress. The SS Waratah wasn't just a ship. She was a symbol, a promise that mankind had conquered the ocean. Elegant travelers toast to adventure. Laughter echoes through corridors painted in gold. Electric lights glow, a marvel of their time. And somewhere, deep in the hull, the ocean presses silently against the steel, as if watching, waiting. You are told the ship is modern, safe, unsinkable, but sometimes the sea has other plans. This is the story of the SS Waratah, the ship that vanished without a trace. No wreck, no distress call, no survivors. Over 200 souls gone. And more than a century later, the ocean still keeps her secret. In 1909, the SS Waratah represented everything the modern world believed in: power, technology, and control. She stretched over 450 feet, with shining decks, luxury suites, and brand new engines designed for the long routes of empire. From England to Australia, newspapers called her a marvel. Passengers called her a dream. But the crew? They whispered another word: unstable. The Waratah rolled differently, more severely than most ships her size. Plates slid from tables. Cabin doors slammed shut on calm days. Some engineers warned her center of gravity was too high, too little weight below deck, too much above. A top-heavy ship is like a tightrope walker leaning just a little too far over the line. Fine when the sea is calm, but one wrong wave, one unexpected gust, can rewrite everything. Still, voyage after voyage, she arrived safely, until the day she didn't. July 26, 1909. The Waratah departs from Durban, South Africa, bound for Cape Town. The weather reports seem ordinary. No warnings, no danger. 211 passengers and crew wave from the deck. Families, traders, migrants chasing new beginnings. But among them, unease stirs. One woman writes a final letter to a friend. "I feel as though I should never see you again." Another confides to a shipmate. "This ship feels top-heavy, like she wants to turn over." Her words are laughed away. After all, the Waratah had sailed before. She was safe, wasn't she? By morning on July 27th, she was gone. No message, no life raft, just silence. A silence so vast that even the sea seemed to hold its breath. So how does a 450-foot ocean liner vanish on one of the world's busiest trade routes, without a single trace? The simplest and most terrifying theory is stability failure. If the Waratah's center of gravity was too high, even a normal wave could have capsized her. Maritime physics is cruelly unforgiving. Once a ship tilts beyond 45 degrees, recovery is nearly impossible. Water surges through vents and open decks. Weight shifts violently. And in seconds, the world turns upside down. No time for lifeboats. No time for flares. No time for hope. Imagine being in that dining hall. One moment glass is clinking, the next, glass shattering. Ceiling becomes floor. Darkness. Water. Cold silence. The ship that once embodied progress now lies inverted beneath the Black Sea, her passengers trapped in frozen fear. The coast of South Africa is home to one of the most violent stretches of water on Earth, where the Agulhas Current collides with Antarctic winds. Here, rogue waves rise like mountains, 60 feet high, unpredictable, silent killers that can crush steel as if it were tin. If the Waratah encountered one of these monsters while already unstable, it would have been the perfect storm. One blow, one roll too far, a massive ship gone, instantly swallowed whole. Coal-fired ships carried a hidden danger: spontaneous combustion. If a fire started deep inside the bunkers and breached a bulkhead, it could ignite the boilers. A sudden internal explosion could explain why nothing was found. No debris, no wreckage, just gone. Weeks later, a steamer called the Clan McIntyre reported seeing a large vessel struggling in heavy seas. Smoke, listing to one side. They tried to approach, but fog rolled in thick and impenetrable. When the fog lifted, there was only ocean. Was it the Waratah or a trick of the light? A phantom shape rising out of mist and memory? Over the decades, others claimed to have seen her ghost. A shadowed silhouette crossing the horizon under a full moon. No lights, no crew, just drifting, silent. Mariners whisper that the Waratah still sails, forever looping the southern currents, trapped between time and tide. Curse a Rome until she's found. More than a century of searching and still nothing. Sonar scans, deep-sea expeditions, hundreds of square miles explored, but the Atlantic floor off South Africa is treacherous, a labyrinth of submarine canyons and unstable sediment. If she sank vertically, the Waratah could now be lying thousands of meters below, buried under the ocean's shifting skin. Steel crushed, cabins preserved in eerie perfection, plates still neatly arranged on dining tables, letters waiting to be read, voices waiting to be heard. Imagine her now, resting in eternal night. No light, no motion, just the heartbeat of the ocean pressing against her hull. In the days that followed her disappearance, families gathered at the Cape Town docks, scanning the horizon for a ship that would never come. Every morning, new telegrams arrived. No news yet. Every night, new prayers whispered. No bodies, no answers, only the relentless uncertainty of the sea. Grief without closure is a special kind of torture, because when you have no wreck, no grave, hope never fully dies, and neither does dread. Over a century later, the Waratah still lies out there, somewhere beneath miles of black water, waiting. The Titanic has her resting place. The Lusitania has her wreck. But the Waratah remains the ghost ship of the Southern Ocean. And perhaps that's why her story endures. Because the ocean does not always roar. Sometimes it simply swallows. And sometimes silence is the scariest sound of all. So subscribe and join us as we dive deeper into the greatest unsolved maritime mysteries of all time. Because out there, beneath the waves, the next great discovery is waiting, and it could change everything.